The Vermont Youth Conservation Corps is a nonprofit youth leadership service, conservation, and education organization that instills in individuals the values of personal responsibility, hard work, education, and respect for the environment. This is accomplished by using conservation projects as the vehicle for learning in an intense environment. Each year, the VYCC hires young people ages 16 to 24 who work and study together under adult leadership to complete high-priority conservation projects such as state park management, trail maintenance, and background construction, yada yada. All VYCC jobs are characterized by comprehensive and intensive training, close supervision, and extensive opportunities for individual learning and personal growth. Okay, now you click on the link that says apply. As you may be eligible to apply for several positions, please carefully review the Corps member and crew leader pages under the positions section of our website to determine which type of position you are most qualified for. If you are not a Vermont resident, you must be 18 plus to apply. Read that again. If you are not a Vermont resident, you must be 18 plus to apply, 18 years old or older. So basically what that's telling you is that you have the entire United States where you can find these various programs. Let's say that you want to move or relocate or get out of a bad environment, get out of your hood if that's the case. Get away from problems. Get away from problem people. Get away from people that are trying to induct you into gangs against your will or something like that. There is an escape for you. There's an escape route. There are things you can do instead of making excuses. You know, I'm tired of people walking around selling drugs and things like that, basically saying we do what we got to do. We got to do this. You got no other choice. You always have a choice. There's always a choice. You're no different than somebody that goes out and sucks dick for money and says you don't have a choice. If that's what you do, that's what you want to do. That's what you chose to do because you always have choices. You always have choices. Okay? Now, if you have any questions, please contact us, and then they have a phone number. Crew leader application, Corps member application, conservation, leadership development, and school programs. Let's see what that says, Corps member application. Okay, you basically fill out this form, click submit. You have just applied. You have taken a step in the right direction. Now, I would like at least one person to watch this video and to put a comment under saying that as a result of it, they actually took some action. Tell me what you did. Put it out there. Let somebody else know. And let people like me know that it's worthwhile to do this. Because somebody's going to benefit from it. Doesn't have to be a lot of people. I'll be satisfied if it's one. Okay, let's try something else. Let me put in Arizona. Arizona Conservation Corps. See what comes up. So let's see. Southwest Conservation Corps provides young people with work and educational opportunities through employment projects. Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico. Now let's check it out. The Southwest Conservation Corps engages and trains a diverse group of young women and men and completes conservation projects for the public benefit. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You're not going to earn a lot of money on any of these programs. But one thing that most of them or many of them are going to give you is, number one, you're going to get paid. Okay? You're going to get, in many cases, they're going to provide room and board. They're going to provide housing. That means most of the money they do pay you can actually save. Okay? Now, you know, you can get away from everything else. In some cases, they will even provide uniforms, so you don't have to worry about clothing that much. So let's see what this one says. About. The Southwest Conservation Corps, founded as a nonprofit agency in 1998, provides young women and men with structured, safe, and challenging service and educational opportunities through projects that promote personal growth, the development of social skills, and an ethic of natural resource stewardship. The SCC program model, built upon the legacy of the Civilian Conservation Corps of the 1930s, incorporates guiding principles of experiential learning, respect, openness, and willingness, commitment, responsibility, pride, excellence, health, and safety, and fun. Okay? So if you are, in fact, a young person, like I said, this is not a career. Although it could turn into one very easily. Okay? You could end up being a director or a program manager or something like that. But the main thing is, if you don't have work experience, swallow your pride, understand that you don't have a lot to offer, get some work experience, get some mentor, and I guarantee you will come out of a program like this a much better person. Okay? In many cases, you're going to find that you have a different walk, a different talk, a different attitude, a different outlook, a different mindset. And you're going to look back at where you came from, depending upon where you came from, and you're going to say, wow, I am way beyond that. I am way beyond that. And because you're going to be. You will have grown, you will have matured, and then you will have much more to offer in the real world, as well as you will get a taste of life and a taste of work experience, a taste of being in a position of being mentored, because the people that work in these programs, that's one of the things they do. And by the way, I think I've done enough for now. I don't think I need to go to any more sites to make my point. There's just one thing I want to say. I actually called some of these programs when I had some of the GR workers in my office, and I talked to some of the people on behalf of some of the young people that came to my work project. And I put them on the speakerphone so I could convince the young people that this was a viable opportunity, and it was just a matter of 1, 2, 3, taking the steps and getting in. I actually had directors of some of these programs tell me that I would ask them, do you currently have openings, or is it a long waiting list? They would say, yes, we have openings. And I said, is there any reason if a person qualifies based upon their income status, or being low income and being the right age, if they have those two criteria, is there any reason they might not be able to get in the program? They said no. They said as long as they are willing to work and do what they're told, all they have to do is come down and sign up. We will get them in the program. Now, let me tell you what that meant. What that meant is that instead of being on this general relief where you're getting food stamps and you're getting this small amount of money for working for people like me for the amount of hours they had to, you can go into a program. In fact, you could do both really if you wanted to, if you were able to, if you had enough time to. But you could go into the program. They're telling you that the door is wide open to you. They have enough openings to take you in. And like I said, they provide a weekly stipend as well as a place to stay, room and board. So anyone, any place in America who needs to get out of a bad situation, instead of making the excuses, you did what you had to do and all that kind of crap, you can relocate. And if you are even, let me tell you, I left home at 18. I have 6 siblings. Every single one of us left home at the age of 18. It's not that hard, because at 18, you should have the maturity. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. But you should, if you were raised properly, as we were, you should be man enough if you're a male, and you should be woman enough if you're a woman to be able to fend for yourself at 18. And even though you're going to run into some tough knocks and you're going to learn some things, you're going to, life is going to meet you at that time. And like my son called me, my oldest son, he's 23 years old. He just turned 23. And when he gets off work tonight, he gets off kind of late. He wants to call me, and we were talking yesterday. And any problem he has, I don't care what it is, he's man enough to acknowledge his shortcomings and limitations. He will pick up the phone and call his dad, and he knows that I will give him advice or wisdom on anything. And if I don't know, I'll ask and I'll help him. And we'll work it out together, or we'll talk about it. Sometimes I'll say, "What do you think?" Sometimes I'll say, "Hey, that's a good idea," and he gets that kind of support. Okay, he gets that kind of support. So what I'm trying to say is that none of us should be above the ideal of getting help from other people. Okay. Now, even though when I was 18 myself, I didn't want the financial help of my parents, and I really didn't. I don't know. I had some issues. I just had to prove that I was a man. And to me, being a man meant that I could leave home at 18 and not look back and not ask my parents for anything. And whenever they hear from me, I should be doing good. I don't know why, but that's the way it was for me. That was just my character, my personality. But I don't encourage anyone to be like that. But anyway, let's look at this. Benefits. An SCA internship offers many benefits. Explore the variety of financial, personal, and global benefits serving with SCA provides. Financial benefits. You get a living allowance of $75 per week. Housing. That's if you're on the 12 to 16-week internship. They would give you housing. Travel expenses to and from the site. That means that they will give you a bus pass, whatever you need to get there. Education award loan forbearance. 1175 to 1468 AmeriCorps Education Award if available. Medical coverage insurance, no longer available for short-term interns. But if you take the longer-term internship, such as 17 weeks, you will get, it says yes, no cost to an intern. You get a uniform. And if you get the longer term program, instead of getting $75 per week, you're going to get $160 per week. Okay. That's if you are a resident, because they're also giving you housing. And if they're giving you housing and providing you food within that dormitory, then you should be able to save a good percentage of this money if you have the right attitude. But the most important thing is It's giving you a way out of a bad situation if that's what you need. It's giving you a place to stay if that's what you need. And that is huge. That is huge because there's a lot of young people. There's young girls out there because they cannot go back home. Maybe they've ran away from home. They're living with some pimp or somebody that's taking advantage of them because they have no place else to go. They don't have family that they can go to. This is giving you a way out. It's giving you a place to go. There are young men who are in the same situation that because they don't have any place to go, they're in a bad environment and they're doing what they feel they have to do to survive in that environment. I'm telling you, you can, if there's nothing positive holding you back, you have the entire United States. There's other places you can go. There's other places you can go. You have the entire United States to choose from. And this, making this choice, making this decision to, number one, find a program that will take you in. Relocating. Learning some responsibility. Developing yourself. Let me tell you something. My dad just turned 80 years old. And when we talk, which is often, we can talk for hours about anything. My dad is a great man. I praise him every opportunity I get. I really do. I didn't realize how great of a man he was until I witnessed and talked to a lot of other people who many never even knew their father. If they did know them, all they can say is bad things about him. And my dad was very smart in school, and he had plans, but he didn't quite know how he was going to live out those plans. He was smart, but his family, they had a nice big farm in the South in Louisiana, but he wasn't sure how he was going to get to college, but that was his intent. My dad received a draft notice stating that he had to report that he was being drafted. One of my aunts, which was his sister, told me that when he got his draft notification, he cried like a baby. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go. It disrupted all of his plans. But my dad, he took the opportunity. He made the most out of it. He pimped it. He pimped it. He really did. And he got an education. He specialized in, he ended up becoming a chemical engineer in the military. Chemical warfare specialist. And he ended up teaching that as well. There's other trades and specialties that he specialized in the military. Some of them he doesn't talk about too much. I know that he had some things he did which were classified top secret because I saw the files. I never opened the files, but it was top secret stuff. But the point is that one thing about him is that he is an extremely disciplined man.